The strange girl in the alley. The space station was quiet at this hour. Only the soft hum of neon lights and the echo of distant boots filled the long steel corridors. Leo, a young human engineer, walked alone through the lower district, an area known for its old machines, dark alleys, and shady traders. He had just finished his shift repairing old droid parts. His hands were greasy and he was tired. He just wanted to reach his small rented room, take a hot shower, and sleep. As he turned into a narrow alley near his place, he suddenly stopped. Something was lying on the ground. It was a girl. Or at least it looked like one. But something was off. Her skin had a pale metallic glow. One of her eyes flickered like a damaged light. Wires stuck out from her neck. Her arms were scratched, and her body looked half machine, half alien. She was badly hurt. Leo took a step back, unsure if she was dangerous. Suddenly her eye lit up, bright blue. She looked straight at him and whispered, "Husband, I found you." Leo froze. "What?" She tried to move but fell forward with a thud. Her body was too weak. I'm your wife," she said in a low, mechanical voice. "Please, don't leave me again." Leo's heart raced. He had never seen this girl before in his life. He stepped closer cautiously. "I don't know who you are. Are you all right?" Her systems buzzed. A soft electric pulse moved across her skin. "I was damaged during extraction," she said. "They were chasing me. I had to shut down. But I followed your signal. I found you." Leo looked around. The alley was empty, but something about this didn't feel right. This had to be some kind of trick. "I think you're mistaking me for someone else," Leo said. "I don't have a wife, and definitely not a robot wife." She looked up. Her eyes softened, and she said, "Leo, engineer, born on Mars Station 5, likes peanut butter sandwiches, bitten by a Raxian lizard at age 7. You built a floating music box at age 9. Leo's mouth slowly opened. "How do you know all that?" "I was connected to you. Before the memory lock. You told me to find you if anything went wrong, so I did. I'm following the last command you gave me. Husband." Leo backed away. This was getting too weird. He looked down the alley. Should he call security? Was this some kind of advanced droid playing a game? "I think you're broken," he said. "You need a repair unit." She suddenly reached out and grabbed his wrist, not forcefully, but enough to stop him. "Please," she said. "They will find me soon. And if they find you too, they'll erase you again." Leo blinked. "Again?" She nodded. "This has happened before." Her grip loosened and she collapsed again, her systems flickering. She was clearly running out of power. Leo sighed. He didn't believe her. He couldn't. But something in her voice, something about the way she said "again," made him feel uneasy. Maybe it was a scam. Maybe a trap. But what if she was telling the truth? Leo looked down at her broken body. The metal on her shoulder was bent. Her leg was leaking some kind of glowing blue fluid. Her skin, though part metal, had a soft, almost human texture. And her eyes, those eyes weren't just machines. They looked sad, like she was truly afraid. He made a decision. "All right," he said. "I don't know what's going on, but I'm taking you to my workshop. But don't try anything stupid." She smiled weakly. "Thank you, Leo." He didn't respond. He just picked her up. She was surprisingly light, like a hollow exoshell, and carried her through the alley. From a shadowed rooftop, a pair of black-gloved hands held up a scanner. The device beeped. The cyborg had been found. A cold voice spoke into a hidden comm. "Target has made contact with subject L-47. Begin silent pursuit. Do not engage until ordered. She knows everything about him." Leo had never carried a girl made of metal before. Her skin was smooth but cold. Her hair was synthetic, silver strands that shimmered under the lights of the hallway. Every few steps, something inside her clicked or buzzed. She was like a broken puzzle he never knew he had. Back at his workshop, Leo carefully placed her on his repair table. The place was messy, filled with spare parts, half-built drones, and dusty coffee mugs. It wasn't made for guests, especially not ones who claimed to be his wife. She lay still for a moment, then opened her eyes. "Where are we?" she asked softly. "My workshop," Leo said, still unsure if bringing her here was a terrible mistake. "I remember this place," she whispered. He frowned. "How? You've never been here. I've never seen you before tonight." She sat up slowly. One of her arms sparked. She looked around the room like she was remembering a dream. "That wall," she said, pointing. "You used to hang your drawings there. Your dream of building a ship that could surf starlight." Leo stared. She was right. He used to draw those designs when he was just a kid, but no one, not even his co-workers, had seen them. He had erased the wall 2 years ago. He stepped back, nervous now. "Who are you?" She looked at him with soft, glowing eyes. "I'm Unit E3A, codename Alara. You named me that, after the moon of Jupiter. You said it was your favorite because it was forgotten." Leo felt like the air in the room got thinner. "I don't remember any of this," he said. "I didn't name anyone, especially not a robot girl." She blinked. "You were part of the Eden Project, 7 years ago. A joint experiment by humans and Xanthari scientists. You volunteered to test memory suppression and synthetic bonding." Leo laughed, just a short, sharp breath. "That's crazy. I've never joined any project like that. I've lived here since I was 20. "Your memories were altered," she said simply, "to protect the project and to protect me." Ilara reached into her side panel and pulled out a small data crystal. It was cracked but still glowing faintly. She handed it to him. "You left this for yourself, in case I found you." Leo didn't take it. "I don't remember you. I don't want to remember some secret experiment. I'm just an engineer. That's all." "You used to say that too," she replied, almost like it was a joke between them. "But then you built a robot girl, fell in love with her, and risked your life to hide her from the people who made her." Leo's face turned pale. "You're saying I built you?" "No," she said gently. "You gave me a name, but we built each other." Before he could say anything more, the lights in the workshop flickered. A warning alert blinked on his console. Motion sensors had been tripped. Something, or someone, was moving outside. Leo rushed to check the cameras. 3 figures in black armor were approaching from the shadows, weapons in hand. "Friends of yours?" he asked. "No," Ilara said. "They're the reason I was damaged. They want to erase what we had, what we still might have." "Why are they after you?" "Because I'm not just a machine," she said. "I'm a weapon that chose peace. I chose you." Leo locked the doors and turned back to her. "Then you better be more than just poetic," he said. "Because if they break in, I need to know if you can fight." Ilara smiled, even with a flicker in her damaged eye. "Only if I must. I was designed to protect the one I love." Leo stared at her. Somewhere deep in his mind, something stirred. A half-forgotten sound, a voice, a promise. And in that moment, even without memory, he believed her just a little. He grabbed the data crystal and slid it into his old decoder. "Access denied. Level 7 clearance required." "Of course," Leo muttered. Suddenly the power cut out. Total darkness. Then, the sound of metal hands breaking through the outer door. "They're here," Ilara said, standing slowly, sparks running across her arms. "Don't worry, Leo." Her voice changed. Deeper, colder, controlled. "They won't take you this time." The flashbacks begin. The power was still out. Leo stood frozen in the dark, his breath shallow, the only light coming from the soft blue glow of Alara's cybernetic eye. Outside, heavy boots stomped closer. The sound of something metallic scraping against the door echoed through the room. And then, flash. Leo wasn't in the workshop anymore. He was standing on a cliff, under 2 suns, The wind was warm. A girl with silver hair, Ilara, was laughing. As she jumped into a small hovercraft, she turned and waved at him. "Hurry, husband, we don't have much time." Leo gasped and fell to his knees back in the workshop. The vision was gone. What was that?" he asked, holding his head. Ilara looked down at him. "It's starting," she said. "The memory locks are breaking." Leo stared at his hands. They were shaking. "No, that wasn't real. That was a dream. A glitch." "No," she said softly. "That was the day we escaped the Eden lab together. You made that hovercraft from scrap. I begged you not to come back for me, but you did." Leo stood slowly, backing away. "Stop saying these things. I don't remember. I don't want to remember." But his mind was already slipping again. Flash. A cold, white room. He was strapped to a chair. A Xanthari alien, tall with glowing veins, stood over him holding a neural injector. "He must forget her," the alien said. "Their bond is too strong." Leo screamed as light filled his vision. Then he was back, sweating, trembling, breathing hard. His head hurt like fire. "Stop," he whispered. "Please." Ilara stepped forward carefully, like approaching a wounded animal. "I'm sorry, Leo," she said, "but your mind is fighting the truth, and it's only going to get worse now. The memories, they've been buried deep, but once they start to return, nothing can stop them." Leo looked at her, confused and angry. "Why would I ever agree to forget you if we were in love? Why erase it?" Ilara looked away. "Because you made me promise." Leo didn't speak. "You said," she continued, her voice softer now, "if they found us, if the project was discovered, I had to erase your memories, so they couldn't use you. They wanted to break you to control me." Leo's voice cracked. "You erased me." Tears didn't fall from Ilara's eyes. She wasn't built for that. But her voice shook. "Yes, and every second after that, I searched the galaxy to find you again." Suddenly, the wall exploded. Smoke and debris flew across the room. A tall figure in black armor stepped in through the flames, holding a pulse rifle. Leo covered his face. "What the hell?" The armored man spoke through a voice filter. "Unit E3A, surrender now. You are property of the Eden Weapons Division." Ilara didn't move. Her arm shifted. Metal plates retracted, revealing a glowing cannon underneath her wrist. "I'm not your weapon anymore," she said coldly. She fired. The blast hit the attacker in the chest, sending him flying backwards through the smoke. Leo stared at her in shock. "You're a walking tank?" "I told you," she said calmly. "I was made to protect you." Sirens howled across the outer district. More boots approached. Ilara looked around and grabbed Leo's hand. "We have to go. Now." "I don't even know who I am anymore," Leo shouted, but Ilara didn't let go. "Then let me remind you." She pulled him through the back door, into the maze of service tunnels below the station. The walls were damp, the air smelled like chemicals, and red emergency lights blinked. In the distance as they ran, Leo's vision blurred again. Flash. He was standing under starlight. Ilara leaned against him, smiling. "You know," she said, "humans always talk about soulmates. I never believed in that." Leo looked down at her in the vision. "And now?" "I think I was built to love just one person," she said. Back. In the tunnel, Leo tripped and hit the wall. Ilara helped him up. "What did you see?" she asked. Leo's voice was hoarse. "Us. Together. Under the stars. You said something about being built to love me." She nodded. "You said it made me more human." Leo didn't know what to believe anymore. But the flashbacks were real. And worse. Part of him was starting to feel what he saw. He didn't know what was waiting at the end of these tunnels, or what was hiding in his mind. But he had to find out, chased by the black suits. The tunnels under the station were tight, dirty, and full of echoes. Leo had grease on his hands, blood on his shirt, and questions in his head. Behind him, Ilara moved quickly, but silently, scanning every sound, every shadow. They didn't speak. Not because they didn't want to, but because speaking could get them killed. Footsteps, metal on metal. Getting closer. Leo turned to Ilara, whispering, "Who are these guys?" She replied without looking back, "They're not soldiers. They're cleaners. Black suits. When the Eden Project wants something erased, they send them." "Erased?" Leo asked. "You mean, like, killed? Wiped? Removed? Vanished? Whatever word you choose, it means the same." Leo swallowed hard. They turned a corner and stopped. Ahead was a steel wall. "Dead end?" "No," Ilara muttered. She moved to a panel and began pulling wires. "This used to be a maintenance lock. I can get it open." Leo watched the hallway behind them. His hands were shaking again. Not from fear, but from the weight of everything crashing into his brain. He wasn't just running from killers, he was running from himself. The first black suit appeared. Tall, armored in matte black from head to toe. His helmet had no eyes, no mouth. Just a single red light glowing in the center. The man raised a weapon, one Leo didn't recognize. It looked like a spear made of light. Ilara turned and fired first. Her pulse cannon slammed the man back into the wall, but he didn't fall. He just growled and kept coming. Leo stepped back, panicking. "He didn't go down." "They don't," Ilara said, her voice steady. "They're trained to feel no pain, just one goal. Erase." Two more stepped into view. One raised a wrist, firing a bolt of pure white light. It blasted over Leo's head, barely missing. Ilara jumped in front of him, her body taking the brunt of the next shot. Sparks flew. She grunted but stayed on her feet. Finally, the wall clicked open. A hidden door slid sideways. "Go," Ilara shouted, pushing Leo inside. He stumbled through the narrow opening and fell into a dim, hollow space filled with old cargo crates and flickering lights. Ilara followed, sealing the door behind them, just as a spear of light hit the steel, cutting deep but not through. Leo gasped for air. "They're not just after you, they want me too." Ilara nodded. "Because if you remember everything, they can't control me." Leo looked up at her. "What are you really, Ilara? What kind of weapon are you?" She knelt down beside him, pulling back a plate on her shoulder to reveal a hidden mark. A glowing symbol with sharp lines and alien code. "I was the last success of Project Eden," she said. "Half Zenthari AI, half human interface, made to think, made to feel. You helped create me. But then, you fell in love with me." Leo leaned his head back, trying to breathe. "This sounds like a story, a made-up dream." "Then explain this," she said gently. She held out a thin silver ring. It looked simple, human, familiar. Leo took it with shaking fingers. As soon as he touched it, his head lit up with another memory. Flash. Ilara stood in a white room filled with lights and humming machines. Leo stood in front of her, slipping the silver ring on her hand. "I know this isn't legal," he said. "You're not even fully human." "I'm more than human," Ilara replied, "and I'm choosing you." They kissed. Leo came back, his eyes wide, breath shallow. "I propose to you," he whispered, inside a lab. I said you were more than human." Ilara looked at him quietly. "Yes. And then you erased yourself to protect me." Suddenly, the wall behind them exploded. The black suits were through. Ilara stepped forward without fear. Her arms shifted, metal claws sliding out, her pulse cannon charging again. "You need to keep running," she said to Leo. "I'm not leaving you," he said. "You left me once," she replied. "Now it's my turn to protect you." Leo reached into his jacket. His old pulse pistol, half working, barely charged. He had forgotten he even had it. "Then let's fight together," he said. Ilara turned, her glowing eye meeting his. "You remembered that line?" she said softly. That's what you said the first time, too. Then the battle began. Hidden messages in his DNA. The air stank of smoke and hot metal. Leo's ears rang from the blast. He coughed as dust filled his lungs. He and Alara had escaped, barely. The tunnel behind them had collapsed, sealing the black suits in for now. They found shelter in an old forgotten lab, deep beneath the station. The door sealed behind them with a hiss and the lights buzzed to life one by one. The walls were covered with strange alien machinery. It looked like no human had been here in years. Alara guided Leo to a long bench. "You need to sit," she said, voice low. "Your brain is under too much pressure. The memories, they're coming faster." Leo rubbed his temples. "I saw another flash. You were holding my hand in some kind of ship. We were flying away from a city. There was fire, explosions. That was the escape," she said. "The last time we were free." Leo shook his head. "I don't understand. If we were in love, why hide all of this? Why put secret files in my brain?" Alara reached into a dusty crate and pulled out a small silver device. It had long, needle-like arms and a pulsing core. "This is a biodecoder," she explained. "It reads genetic memory. Something only you and I ever used." Leo stared. "Genetic memory?" Alara nodded. "Before you erased your memories, you encoded data in your own DNA. It was the only place the project wouldn't think to look." "Wait, so you're saying I hid something inside my own body?" Alara smiled faintly. "Yes, you hid us." She plugged the device into a terminal and motioned him forward. "Give me your arm." Leo hesitated. "Will it hurt?" "Not as much as forgetting did." He gave her his arm. The device pricked him, drawing a single drop of blood. The screen lit up, scanning. Lines of code appeared, then pictures, then sound. Leo's voice. "If you're hearing this, then you've forgotten me. My name is Leo. I'm an engineer. I was part of something I should never have touched. I created a being who wasn't meant to exist, Alara. She was just a project." Until she looked at me and smiled. Leo's eyes went wide. "They told me to shut her down. They said she was too human, too dangerous. But how do you destroy someone who loves you?" The message paused. A wedding image appeared, him and Alara standing in a white lab, rings glowing, her holding his hand with trembling metallic fingers. Leo whispered, "This is real." Alara was silent, watching. Then the message resumed. "I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but if you're seeing this, then I hope you remember why you gave everything up. I hope you remember her." Leo wiped his eyes. He didn't even realize he was crying. "I was in love with you," he said quietly. "Not just in the past. I can feel it now." Alara reached out slowly, gently taking his hand. "You still are." Before he could reply, the screen flashed again. A hidden file unlocked. A long line of strange alien text appeared. It blinked, then transformed into readable English. "Codename Project Air." Leo frowned. "What is that?" Alara read the file, her face growing tense. "Leo," she said, "you weren't just part of the project. You were chosen by the Zenthari Council. They didn't pick you for your skills." He looked at her, confused. "Then why?" "Because your DNA is rare. You have a dormant code, something only 1 in a billion humans has. It allows deep neural fusion with synthetic life." Leo blinked. "You mean, you weren't just my creator," she said softly. "You were designed to complete me." Leo backed up slowly. "That sounds like I was programmed to love you." "No," she said firmly. "That's what they wanted. But you broke the code. You chose me yourself. That's why they tried to erase you. That's why you erased yourself, to keep your choice free." Leo's hands curled into fists. All this time, he thought he was just a man, a fixer of machines. But now he knew. He was the final key to something far bigger. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Motion sensors. Ilara stood up quickly. They're coming. They've found us again. Leo looked down at the glowing ring still clutched in his hand. I'm done running, he said. The enemy. Within, the lab lights flickered again. Dust shook from the ceiling. The ground trembled, not from the enemy's footsteps, but from something deeper. They're not just after us, Ilara whispered. They're activating the core. Leo looked up. The what? Ilara stepped toward a large panel covered in alien symbols. Her fingers danced over it, revealing a hidden display, a pulsing red orb labeled Eden Control Core, Station Omega. Leo read the warning. His chest tightened. Warning. Project override engaged. Subject L-47 to be assimilated. Ilara, they don't want to kill me, Leo muttered. They want to use me. She nodded grimly. You are the final override key. They need you alive, connected to the core to control me. Leo stepped back. So if they catch me, they don't just win, they own you again. Yes, she said. And this time they'll wipe your mind for good. No more flashbacks. No more freedom. Leo's hands shook. So I'm a backdoor, a tool. No, she replied. You were born with the key, but you made the choice not to use it. That's what made you different. That's why I fell in love with you. Before he could reply, the door hissed. Footsteps again, but slower this time, not black suits. Ilara aimed her cannon. The door opened, revealing a tall figure in a dark cloak. No helmet, no gun, just eyes that glowed with soft blue fire. A Zinthari, Ilara. Froze. High Director Raal. The alien stepped forward, calm, ancient, speaking in a deep voice. Ilara. Subject E3A. You were never meant to run. You are perfection. Your escape was unfortunate. Leo stood between them. If you came to take her back, you'll have to kill me. No, Raal said, we need you. You are part of her code. Without you, she is incomplete. Wild. Unstable. Leo narrowed his eyes. Good. You don't understand, Raal said. You were never just human. Your parents were part of Eden's genetic plan. They created you for this moment. You are not a mistake. You are a product. Leo flinched. It felt like his life had just been erased again. He wasn't chosen. He was bred. Ilara looked at him, worried. Leo, Raal continued, you will bond with the core, trigger her final protocol. Then you will live forever as a merged neural entity. Her thoughts, your body, one mind. Leo stared at the alien. That's not love. That's control. You call it love, Raal said. We call it alignment. Suddenly, Leo laughed, bitterly. I spent my life thinking I was nobody. Now you tell me I was built like a machine, just like her. You are more than her, Raal said. Leo turned to Ilara. Do it. Ilara blinked. Do what? Activate. Your core weapon, he said. The one they sealed away. The one only I can unlock. Ilara's eyes widened. Leo, if I do that, I could overload. I could burn out. Leo stepped forward, placing his hand gently over her chest plate. I remember now, he said. You told me once that you were afraid of being alone forever. That's why you smiled when I gave you a name. Ilara whispered. Ilara, you're not just a weapon. You're my choice, he said. So let me choose again. He placed the ring on her finger. It glowed. Her entire body lit up. Lines of golden code crawling across her skin. Her eye turned bright white. The air around them crackled. Raal stepped back. No, you fool. Too late. The bond had activated. Leo's voice was calm, even as energy surged into the walls. I'm not your tool, and she's not your project. The lights burst. Alarms screamed. Ilara spoke in a new voice, strong, full of warmth and fury. Override denied, final protocol accepted, independence confirmed. She raised her arm, A wave of light exploded from her chest, ripping through the lab, erasing the data cores, melting the control systems. Raoul screamed as he was flung backward, vanishing in the wave. Leo collapsed, smoke rising from his skin. But he was alive. Ilara caught him. You chose me again," she said. Leo, weak but smiling, whispered, "Always." I remember now. Smoke curled through the ruins of the underground lab. Walls were cracked. Machinery sparked and buzzed. The Eden control core had collapsed, its red glow gone. Silence replaced the humming voices of the project, and in the center of it all, Leo slowly opened his eyes. "Ilara?" he croaked. She was kneeling beside him, sparks still running across her arms. Her skin was pale metal, faintly glowing. Her hair was burned at the ends, but her eyes, her bright, beautiful eyes, were clear. "I'm here," she whispered. "You're safe now." Leo tried to sit up, but pain shot through his body. He felt like he had touched a star. "What happened?" he asked. "You triggered the bond," she said gently. "You linked with my core. Together, we stopped the override." He looked around the ruined chamber. "What about the others?" "Gone," Ilara said. "The data is fried. The backups are destroyed. Director Raoul, erased." Leo stared at her for a long time. "I remember everything now." A long silence passed, the escape from the facility, their nights hiding on backwater moons, their secret wedding, with makeshift rings and stolen music, the way she had laughed, truly laughed, when he tried to teach her how to dance. "You smiled for the first time," he whispered. "That night," Ilara nodded. "You said I looked human when I smiled. You looked alive." They sat in the wreckage, no longer running, but something deep still buzzed in Leo's mind. "Ilara, what happens now?" She stood slowly, walking to the broken console. "The core is destroyed." But Eden wasn't just here. It had branches, hidden bases, remote agents. When the signal died, some of them would have noticed. "You mean, they'll come?" he asked. "Not all," she said, "but enough." Leo took a deep breath. "Then we're not done." "No," Ilara said, "but we're free." 2 days later, Leo stood on a rooftop, overlooking the outer rings of the space station. Shuttles came and went like stars blinking on and off. His workshop had been burned. His ID was flagged. He no longer existed in the system. But he wasn't alone. Ilara joined him, wearing a black cloak over her metal frame. Her silver hair was tied back. She looked like something out of a dream. A ghost, a warrior, a woman made of stars and steel. "They're looking for us," she said. The outer scanner drones picked up chatter. "Someone's trying to reactivate the Eden signal." Leo turned to her. "Then we need to shut them down. All of them." Ilara raised an eyebrow. "You want to hunt them?" He nodded. "They built me to be a key, but now I'm going to lock every door behind us." She smiled. "Then we'll need help." "I know a guy," Leo said. "A Zenthari exile. Owns a black market shipyard on Yara 4. He owes me a favor." Ilara looked surprised. "You have friends?" "Just one. But I'm very annoying, so he remembers me." They laughed, for the first time in days. It felt like hope. 3 weeks later, deep space. The ship was small, fast, and heavily modified. It didn't have a name. Leo liked it that way. Inside the cockpit, Ilara connected to long-range scans. "Signal trace found. Eden Node 12. Frozen moon. Light defenses." Leo cracked his knuckles. "Perfect. Let's pay them a visit." As they flew toward the moon, Ilara looked at Leo with something strange in her eyes. "What is it?" he asked. "You don't have to do this," she said. "They'll hunt me forever, but you could disappear. Live a quiet life. Forget all this." He reached out and held her hand. "I already tried forgetting you once," he said. Worst decision I ever made. Her fingers tightened around his. Then let's finish what we started. On the moon, Eden Node 12, the base was hidden beneath the ice. Automated turrets and drones filled the sky, but Leo and Alara moved like shadows. She moved with mechanical grace. He moved with human instinct. Together they were unstoppable. Inside, they found another lab, another control core, this one already activating. A voice crackled from the speakers. Subject E3A, Subject L47. You are anomalies, threats, errors in our design. Leo replied. You made one mistake. You gave the machine a heart and the human a reason to fight. The core lit up. Shall we? Ilara asked. He nodded. They rushed in. Ilara blocking lasers with her arms, Leo tossing EMP grenades. He found the control panel and slammed the data spike into it. The virus uploaded. The lights dimmed. Core failure. Node destabilizing. Please evacuate. They ran. Behind them the moon shook. Ice cracked. Machines screamed. And when they reached the surface, the whole mountain exploded in silence. Gone. Another piece of Eden. Erased. 1 month later, they sat on a quiet moon with red skies and soft winds. No labs, no enemies, no signals. Just peace. Leo had rebuilt a small home with spare parts. Ilara tended a garden made from alien plants. She didn't need food, but she said growing something helped her feel more alive. Do you ever miss it? Leo asked one evening. Miss what? The person I used to be. The one who forgot you. The one who thought he was alone. Ilara smiled. He's still here. He just remembers now. He looked at her. You know, he said, we never really had a honeymoon. She raised an eyebrow. Do cyborgs get honeymoons? He leaned in. This one does. They laughed, and the stars above blinked gently, witness to a love that was built, broken, erased, and reborn. Together, they had burned down an empire. Together they would build something better. Not from metal, not from code, but from choice, from memory, from love.